Location Homes has been around since 2008 in the region that we operate. In 2011, my wife and I bought the franchise all out and took over some other areas north of where we are. And from there, we've redeveloped the business from a branding point of view. We've re-systemized the business and really got to understand our market, who our avatar is. Who we are was the starting point. We needed to find out what we were passionate about and where our skills were as a company, as a group of people. Once we understood that, we then realized what we had to offer the market. And we focus on quality, affordable luxury design and build homes. Our typical client is someone who has a budget but has aspirational, someone who really wants to create a home that they can be proud of, that's functional, but meets those budget constraints that we all have. And over the years, we've refined and redeveloped our approach to this. We have a full in-house design team, a full quantity surveying team. We take care of the entire package from start to finish, consenting, preliminary design, pricing, everything. And it gives the client complete confidence that all the problems that may arise can or will be dealt with by our team. They don't have to worry about all that stuff that they don't know about, because we know about it. And that confidence leads to a much more relaxed and engaged relationship with our clients, and ultimately leads them to be very happy at the end of the process, because they haven't had to worry about things that the other clients may have to, if they, say, for example, engaged an architect and then tried to find a builder on their own and go through a process of pulling people together. Because we have all those people, we do the pulling together. And it leaves the client much freer to simply focus on making decisions about the things they want in their home and planning for the future once they move in. So that's been a really great journey to understand who we are and how we can help people, and then go and find those people. And that's a journey we're still on today, refining who our client is and how we can help them best. And that's something that we've found great with the Builders Mentoring Program, to really keep asking those questions of ourselves. So that's the journey that we've been on so far with Location Homes. We had a few specific challenges in our business, which really led us to connect with the Builders Mentoring Program. And I would say that those things are pretty true of most building companies, I'd say. No matter how good you are, how capable you think you are, there are things in the building industry that will always catch you out. For us, it was knowing our numbers, understanding where we made our money and where we lost our money. It was also wanting to understand more about why we could attract leads and not always convert them. Was it our approach to our lead generation, or was it that we weren't handling our leads correctly? So wanting to know our numbers, wanting to also explore and find out the things we didn't know that we needed to know. The old adage of you don't know what you don't know. So we came with that expectation. To be honest, I held off contacting APB for a year. I saw your marketing. I looked at it. I was skeptical. I'll be honest, I was very skeptical. I thought, here's another gimmick. But as I observed and the marketing kept coming across my feed and I kept seeing it, I started to do a bit more research on the company. And I realized there was some substance, a lot of substance to what was being offered. And when I looked at our own business and our trajectory, I realized while we were having success, we were doing a few things wrong, and I wasn't entirely sure how to fix it. So we were really looking to fix lead generation, quality of leads, knowing our numbers, and reporting. Reporting's big, and I feel that one of the reasons that so many building companies fail is not because the technical side of the building is poor, but business operators and owners and their accountants often don't actually understand the fundamentals of financial reporting in a building business. It's somewhat unique, and I felt we were the same. We had perhaps a false impression of how we were performing. Those were the problems we were facing, I suppose, when we made contact with APB. The three greatest solutions I would say that we've achieved working with Builders Mentoring Program so far. First of all, a much greater awareness of our numbers in real time, looking at revenue, what have we achieved in quarter by quarter, our margins, understanding our true margin in our jobs. In addition to that, forecasting, looking forwards, we have much more comfort and awareness of where we have holes opening up in our workflow, and then linking that with our marketing strategy. So turning the tap on, so to speak, to bring those leads in. Now, to give you just a bit of background on how the marketing side is rolling out, under this level 4 lockdown that we're having in New Zealand, within the first week, I gathered our team around and we met with Andy, Glenn and I, my partner, and we discussed the need for a marketing platform to really keep things moving through this difficult time we're in. And I can report that 2 weeks after that meeting, we rolled out our marketing initiatives last week. We've had 11 new inquiries in the past 8 days. And I can tell you this, that has never happened in the 16 years of business I've been in, that we've gone from having, next to no leads in a very difficult time to 11. It makes me very proud to, I suppose, acknowledge that the team got around, we figured out a strategy, we worked with our marketing team and we went for it and we implemented it. And we're now seeing the dividends of that. So my biggest issue right now is getting around all of these new client leads and making sure we're looking after them, because for us, we build around about 15, medium to high-end homes a year, which keeps us pretty busy. And if we convert half of those, we're going to got our hands full going forward. Another great solution that we've experienced is better pricing practices and increased margin. So we've increased our margin by about 3.5–4% in the 6 to 8 months we've been working with APB. And that's been, I guess, partly this awakening or awareness that it's okay to charge what we believe we're worth because we're adding the value. And I think that confidence comes from the conversations we've had with Andy and the training that we experience with Alex as well. And also sharing proof of success with and from the other APB members. So other people expressing their success and the margins they're achieving. And it's good to see the building market is slowly realizing that in order to serve our clients and to be a safe pair of hands to trust all that money with, we need to be making money, because profit is security. And the more profitable we are, the more we can support our clients. So that's been a big one. And the third great outcome we've had with APB has been around our attitude towards marketing. I had a very strong aversion to marketing, and I believe that was a key reason why our lead generation was patchy and poor. That's flipped on its head now. We're so passionate about doing focused, well-planned marketing campaigns and understanding who our clients are, where they are, and how to get to them. And that's been a key thing, a mind shift for our whole team, and we're very excited about the results we're already seeing. With regards to how clear the program outline and strategy have been, and whether or not I've felt accountable during our development, I'd answer it like this. The very clear, logical progression, I suppose, or the pathway that Andy has built for Glenn and I as we've progressed into understanding our business, understanding its weak points, and then building on its strengths. I guess the financial reporting and knowing our numbers as the starting point, and then building this big picture around it, looking at our forecasting. There's been a very logical, steady as she goes progression towards, I guess, enlightenment around our function of our business. And when we look back, it felt, I guess, a little bit slow to start with, but when we look back, we've made huge progress. And what's exciting is that through the clarity and expertise that Andy and Alex present, this enlightenment that comes across our whole team. It's not just me. It's not just I guess the leader of the company learning this stuff. It's our whole team, and it's becoming part of the fabric of how we do things. Definitely feeling very accountable. Andy's not afraid to gently kick us in the butt if perhaps we've shifted focus or lost focus, and that's what we need. I think it's so easy when you're the leader of a business. You feel, or in fact, sometimes you're not accountable to anybody. You are the master of your own destiny. And that's all good and well if you've got a clear focus and a path to follow. But if you don't, it's easy to drift along. And I think creating tasks and targets between our catch-ups with Andy has been very, very helpful to keep us on track. We've got the day-to-day running of the business, and that has to happen. But this kind of urge to get back and work on the business every week so that we are making, scoring the goals that we need to every month has really helped us accelerate our progress. I would say the most valuable and favorite topic that we've covered with APB, and I guess how it's directly impacted our building company, would be knowing our numbers. It's helped us to separate reality from fantasy. and allowed us to pivot and change our approaches to the things that we're doing that perhaps aren't working, but also to start doing some things that we haven't been. It's been, as I said before, we've increased our margin by 3.5%, 4%, and probably couldn't attribute all of that to APB. But what I would say is, given consistency across our projects now, we were already beginning to improve our margin, but what the reporting and the knowing our numbers approach to running our business has done has allowed us to be much more critical and act a lot quicker to problems in pricing, things like managing variations, change orders, really understanding that every dollar counts and understanding the movement of sales through our funnel, when it's going to impact us, or a lack of sales when it's going to hurt us. So that's been, I say, favorite. I suppose, as boring as numbers are, I get excited by seeing those changes because they translate into real world benefits. We can pay our staff more. We've got no problems paying our creditors, and ultimately, there's potentially dividends there for the shareholders. So if we can do all of those three things, we're, I believe, a successful company, and that's what knowing our numbers has enabled us to do. Would I recommend the Builders Mentoring Program to other builders? Absolutely. They're great people. They know what they're talking about. It gives us confidence and direction. So those of us who have been operating for a while and perhaps have experiencing some success, there's always more to do. There's always ways to be better. And the Builders Mentoring Program for us, it consolidates a whole lot of key tools, key knowledge that every business owner needs. And I feel the longer you go on in business, if you're not taking that time out to work on it and to learn, you just keep doing the same bad things. And by being, I guess, stopped and checked by the team at Builders Mentoring Program on a regular basis, our upskilling is exponential. As we learn more, we want to learn more. And as we implement and see the results of these changes and these tools, we want to do it even more. And so I think it's just a no-brainer for me. Also, people who are starting out in the construction industry are notorious for being technically brilliant. A lot of great builders become business owners, but they don't have a foundation in finance or client relations or administrative systems or reporting. There's none of that. And that's a weakness in our apprenticeship scheme and our education structures. That's where APB and Builders Mentoring Program fills the gaps brilliantly and provides a non-public school education facility. So I would absolutely recommend the Builders Mentoring Program to anyone at any stage of their business. We've all got more to learn, and I think there's a whole lot of value there for someone starting out or advanced in their career.